November 21st, 2025. The question for the day, this Friday, is a little bit more complex and harder to comprehend. That's why the context is a little bit longer, so please bear with me. So you lost your records. You just found out that the most important part of your year as a artist, as a writer, as a company owner, the beginnings, full of foul-ups, full of credit lines, but they are important to you because even though you're dreaming big things, usually it starts with the first step. So those records, you found out they're gone. So you just, you shrug your shoulder and, okay, so I'll just reapply. So as a writer, back then you were asking for free editing because you couldn't afford paying professional editor, proofreader, grammar, something like that. So those years where you also do some transactions, some day jobs in order to finance your big dreams, yes, they're the ones lost. You could have, if it's only for sentimental value, well, you can reapply, right? Since you sincerely know that it's really you who had done the work. But the no record found would turn out to be a very big gap to your person, to your existence. Why? Later on, you found out you were recorded as a patient of a mental institution and had a breakdown within the years where the records you applied for previously could not be found. The records that could have been given to you could have immediately discredited the medical condition, and that the rightful person who should be given that extra care and extra budget as to the medicines, the caregiver for the house, and the loads of responsibilities and obligations that someone with that medical condition cannot endure. Well, there's a switch of identification, apparently. And you are tagged with the medical condition of this unfortunate person who can be regarded as incompetent and incapable. So you cannot be having nervous breakdowns while being everywhere, all around, delivering books to Metro Manila, applying for barcodes at the National Library of the Philippines, speaking with bookstores to sell them your books through consignment. There were also days you were bringing your resume and CV to reconsolidate lost records. You cannot be having breakdowns, being neurotic about it, being what do you call that, bipolar, while holding queuing number at the treasurer's office of the universities and colleges where your daughters go for their college education so they can take their examination, even though we were not able to pay their tuition fee on time. So a person who can be suffering from so many disorders will not be able to multifunction, because what is in the mind of a psychotic person while writing a promissory note, being interviewed by the officer of the college and the university, and then after leaving the office and being granted the provisional test permit, you give your daughter so they can take their exams, rush to find the money to honor the promissory note so that they can graduate. Okay, and on to the next major test exams where payments for the installment fee of tuition fees are due. So what timeline or interval was the medical record talking about, like the depression and the delusions, where they could be actually regarded as a luxury, as a moment, to just, not face up to the consequences of being a mother of 3 and a single parent at that, not having to tackle the consequences of being an adult, of being the only parent within, within their life, most of their life. So where is the depression and the delusion where it would mean rest, where it would mean capricious, like the family would capriciously give what is being asked? or it could topple the patient into, spin like to a spiral of more self-destructiveness, rather than, sorting out the responsibilities so that one after another, the daughters can graduate and also begin their life as adults and not suffer any kind of instability. Yes. So while doing the marketing, paying bills, attending PTA meetings, and haggling, all these things that easily 5 people could have shared, distributed among them, if one, if the person responsible, like the parent, is somehow incapable or incapacitated. So what timeline was the all the medical disorder happening? So what do you do if you find yourself with that kind of medical abstract and diagnosis, and it turns out that your activities and the way that you live your life there is a bit of inconsistency, to say the least. So what do you do? Hello, it's the 22nd of November 2025, and this is my answer to yesterday's question. If it's about the person's mental capacity to understand or to make decisions, it is important also. I learned this the hard way, how important it is to give the presumption of regularity and innocence. Take for instance, I will present myself to an office. The person who should be entertaining my query, my concern, should ask me how I got there. Or like, if I said that my name is Miss Nora Honor, we all know here in the Philippines that she's a famous artist. She's Nora Honor, she's superstar. Or like in other country, like in Hollywood, like when I say and I will say that, oh, I when I am asked what is your name, and then I said my name is Celine Dion, or my name is my name is Barbara Streisand, or my name is Taylor Swift. From the expression of someone who would who will listen to my answer, who will listen to me saying my name. Hello, my name is Taylor Swift. Hello, my name is Nora Honor. Immediately, the name recall will register something of a recognition, right? If it's a natural, a spontaneous exchanges, there should be a flicker of recognition for the name, because the name is known. So even if my face is not recognizable as the one they recognize as Taylor Swift or Nora Honor, somehow there would be something like, oh, you have a very famous name, something like that. Or that maybe small talks, but not like, so how did you get here, Miss Taylor? How did you reach the office, Miss Nora Honor? And I will say, oh, I rode a bus. I paid for the fare to get here. I am lucid enough to bring all the paperwork needed by you. I had been sane enough to be able to speak with you. So these are the things that are, I am exaggerating, I know. But it has come to that because of the duration of time. When you possess a kind of statistics that I have, that I am ready to present, that I was able to present, it will somehow be logical for me to expect that a 3 million stream can somehow make an impact. And given how strangers come to me, there are different indications that, the familiarity with the name and the face, it's already here. So, okay, let us not jump into conclusion about a real matter of fact-finding and establishing matters of fact. So my name is Nora Honor, my name is Taylor Swift, and that my face has been associated with something else. So put two and two together does not click it. Okay, can I look at your documents? And it's beginning to rain again. Wait, let me show. So yeah, it is raining again. So wait, did anyone else help you? Okay, let's take a moment here. Can you repeat everything that's in this application form? Can we do an interview to establish that it is truly you who have accomplished this form? You who are claiming to have, to possess the owner's copy way back, and that it is not out of my way to make a conclusion that since from the time that you have reapplied upon expiration, that you have continued the business, you have continued the profession since like you first applied for this permit 2003 and now it's 2025. Is it like crazy for me to conclude that from during the in between years had been consumed like living as Nora Honor, living as Taylor Swift, and that if there are some variation, like the help of a psychologist to bring out the best in you, to get you out of your, if you are catatonic, what's that? Catatonic or catatonic, yeah. We aspire for you to be lucid. We aspire for you to give your best answer so that, your right as a citizen can be given to you. So we will strive to, if you're talking in English, and this is a Tagalog speaking conversation for everyone's understanding, do we need to tell you to get an interpreter or translator? Or if you are speaking in Tagalog, yeah, Tagalog, mag-Tagalog tayo. But those who need to listen to you do not understand Tagalog. They need for things to be said in English. So should we get you, those kind of things to bridge the sane factor? Because even, the witnesses who are so compromised in their mental capacity, like PTSD, post-traumatic disorder, they are given, the special care between or before the giving their testimony, because their testimony, notwithstanding their IQ, their testimony, notwithstanding the crazy things that they did so many times before, but it is important for their civil rights to be recognized. So you, whose name is Nora Honor, you whose name is Taylor Swift or Celine Dion, it is important for us to get to know the other records that will say that you are Nora Honor or Celine Dion, or if you are truly not right up there, can we ask for help so that your real sentiment, the contents of your heart, like we can look for the best interest to recognize your place. Yeah. So these are the things that I am actually exaggerating in order to explain to the uninitiated what I had gone through over the years, and that how confident I am that here and now things will work out by God's grace.